Hey, Bruce Waller here, and somebody recently asked me about my books, and I thought I would just jump on real quick and just share some of my insights around my books. I actually published Find Your Lane back in 2017, and this book really was about my career, and I just really wanted to encourage people through their journey. And sometimes when we're going through our career, we might need to just look at things from a different perspective. Maybe we need to double down on what we're doing and accelerate. And sometimes we need to make a lane change. And my hope was to encourage you with some of the stories of my career through that journey. And then in 2019, I've always wanted to publish a journal. And so I published the journal called Milemarkers. And the journal is really set up to be a 5-year journal to where you're writing short entries each day, and just to really create a habit of writing. And then the following year, you can look back and see what you were doing that time that year, or maybe what you were grateful for, or maybe something your kids said, or maybe a win you had in your career. And so my hope was to really just start a movement and try to just really share the joy that we can have in writing. And then this week, just got to publishing my latest book called Life in the Leadership Lane, Moving Leaders to Inspire and Change the Workplace. And that really started from the pandemic back in 2020 when the world shut down. I was trying to figure out a way, how can I stay connected? How can I stay visible? How can I stay educated? Started having some Zoom calls, and then I decided, hey, I'm going to turn this into a podcast, and started interviewing high performers, leaders in the HR community and in the business community, just really to have a purposeful conversation. And after the first year, I started looking at all the podcast episodes and how much I've grown from each conversation. And I thought, I've got to turn this into a book. And that's what I did. I just turned the podcast into a book, sharing perspective from 75 high-performing leaders that I've had on the podcast are all in the book. We talk about the importance of choices. The first chapter is called You're on the Air, so it's a podcast theme. I just got through giving that presentation recently, and then I'm giving a couple of presentations at the HR Southwest Conference. One of them is called It's Growth Day, and creating that Growth Day culture, that Growth Day mindset. I'm going to be sharing that, of course, at HR Southwest. And then also I'm going to be sharing the importance of gratitude and really showing up with gratitude, and how sometimes our world is so challenging, but yet when we look at it from a grateful perspective, things can change. And so, and then lastly, there's a chapter in there about the importance of developing influence. I call it speaking influence. And really I share 5 strategies to get buy-in from the C-suite, just to really develop influence in the workplace. And my hope is to encourage you as a leader, to help you grow and continue to just move along in your career, and hopefully at the end of the day, just create more joy. And so I hope you'll check the books out. And if you enjoy them, leave the review on Amazon. That always helps get the word out to others. If you want to check out my podcast, I interview leaders each week. Oh my goodness, so many great conversations called Life in the Leadership Lane. You can check that on Apple Podcasts and your favorite podcast platform. You can also see the podcast on YouTube. Just go to my YouTube channel and click subscribe. Or if you want to subscribe to my blog, I put out a blog usually once a week called Move to Inspire, and you can check that out at brucewaller.com. Or if you need some help relocating yourself or your team members, we can certainly help you with that as a leader at Armstrong Relocation and Companies right here in Dallas, Texas. So, hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I hope you'll check the books out. And my hope at the end of the day is that they will encourage you, inspire you to change the workplace, and ultimately, let's change the world.